And I was just explaining to a group yesterday that I imagine our skill sets are kind of like all these different columns, kind of like a Connect 4, type of thing. And there's all these columns and you're just dropping these little skills. I'm a real estate investor. I'm sharing everything I know about Subject to in a way that complete beginners understand. This guy is John Pratt, our fearless novice, diving headfirst into the world of Subject to real estate deals. Watch as I start him on the path. I'm your guide, Kyle Kargas, and this is Subject to Real Estate Secrets, the path from moron to millionaire. Welcome to Subject to Real Estate Secrets, the path from moron to millionaire. Buying a house subject to is when you can buy the house, you own it, you didn't use your credit, nothing. The seller's loan stays in place and you take over those payments. They get to move on and you got a new investment property, new primary property. It's amazing. We are back on another episode. John, welcome back, my friend.
Thank you.
We've done a lot of episodes now.
We've done a lot. I don't even know how many, to be honest, because we're releasing them so far ahead of how soon we're recording.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, which is a good thing to get ahead.
Yeah.
Right. We're all on this pathway of progress, right? And I was just explaining to a group yesterday that I imagine our skill sets are kind of like all these different columns, kind of like a Connect 4, type of thing. And there's all these columns, and you're just dropping these little skills. These little skill pellets into each column, right? And I was talking with them that until you fill it all the way up, right? Until you get a full row like a Connect 4, this game only goes up, John.
Right.
But once it gets, you have to fill it all the way up to cross that line, and then you're good enough with that skill to have success in it.
Yeah.
Okay, to get a deal.
So there's no incrementally improvement until.
Yeah, you might get lucky if for some reason someone hands you a bowl of skill pellets and you dump them in, or you get with somebody else and sometimes they'll come in with their skills and you got it up to this high and they take it from there.
Yeah.
Right? But in general, you're over here hey, I am making calls, right? And setting appointments. That's like one column, right?
Yeah.
That's just one little column. And it could be, but you could break them down even smaller, right? A lot of times it's okay, having the confidence to dial on the phone. Mm-hmm. Then what do you say on the phone, right? And then the quality of the call. Getting yourself to spend a full hour on the phone. Mm-hmm. All of those can be different skill sets, to be honest, right? And different challenges that you might have to overcome. And what people tend to do is they tend to go in and drop skill point here, 1 over, skill point, 1 over, skill point. I'm going to do it all. I want to pull the list. I want to be the one calling. I want to be the closer. I want to be the dispo person. I want to do it all. And they're over here and they're getting better. They're adding skill points. But how long is it going to take if all you're dropping is one skill point, one little, and I see them like jelly beans, real small.
Yeah.
Right? And it's dude, if you go and drop all these skill points, it's going to take you forever to get any column high enough.
In that framework, it's their goal. It's as though their goal is to become bad at as many things as possible.
Yeah.
Why would that be your goal?
Or at least be okay staying bad at
Right.
things for a long time, but very slowly, incrementally getting better at everything.
Yeah.
And so guess what? Let me run the calculations. You're going to die before you actually get it filled, right? Or 15, 20 years or whatever, right? It's going to take a long time.
Yeah.
Versus keep dropping we're focused with you. We're dropping all these skill points in your column.
Yeah, in one column.
Okay? So before I ask you how this week went,
Yeah.
because everybody knows that's what I'm going to be doing, I want to let you know that I feel more skill points in your column right now. Mm-hmm. I had you set some appointments this week and you either got more appointments and higher quality or at least just higher quality appointments.
Yeah.
Okay? Because I could feel the difference. Okay? So for whatever it is, you've added enough skill points to where this week, if not last week, you've reached a new level. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I am excited actually to hear what you're about to share with me on your statistics.
Yeah, I could share the stats first, or sort of speak to that question.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know if it's more appointments. I'd have to go look at last week, but I think the quality is up because this week, people answered their phones. So I get to talk to them. I mean, that sounds really stupid, a really stupid reason why they're better appointments, but. So, for example, the week before, or maybe the week before that, I was working, calling another state.
Yes.
And when you have, for example, I have a 480 area code. 480 looks weird to somebody in North Carolina or something. So they might not answer. Maybe time of day. It could be a million factors.
I do remember you sharing that on
Did I say that already?
On one of the episodes.
Okay, yeah.
That, or at least you told me
Yeah.
that you were worried about that area code on your phone number being
it could be a factor.
A potential factor.
Yeah.
However, I think what we might have just found out is I think you had shared with me at least the appointments you set up for me
That's true.
are in a different
They're in a
state.
different
And
state,
John, did
different
you
area
go get
code.
another phone number?
No, I did not. It's still a 480.
It's still a 480
It's a lot
number.
closer to home. Like it's one state over.
Yeah,
they might know what 480 is. I don't know. Maybe it's a small factor that I'm just inflating
Or is there a
based on
chance
theory.
that doesn't really have that big of an effect?
Could be that, yeah.
Interesting,
Could
right?
be that.
Interesting that almost 2 weeks apart, you could be going from this major thought to now evidence that it probably
to the
is not
contrary,
what you
potentially.
thought, right?
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
Keep going.
Now, if I work it with someone in like Salt Lake, a lot of them know 480.
Sure.
Like I know 801,
Yeah.
or 435 or whatever. Yeah, they answered the phone more for
Okay.
one, like consistently. So I got a chance to talk with them, like at all.
Okay.
Which is good. Instead of leaving a message and then they call me back or they text, they try to get it a lot.
Okay, so then that would directly affect maybe number of appointments.
Yeah, it could be a better appointment if I'm talking with them instead of if I'm, if they catch me later and and they force it to text or whatever.
Okay,
like,
I understand.
Whereas if I get to actually talk to them, I mean, most of the appointments that I send to you, I have talked to these people.
Yes.
But some of them force it back to text, and it's like, this takes forever? Do I chase this up, or do I just go make, 50 more calls? And
Yep.
Anyway, that's a little bit behind the numbers, I guess.
I loved it. Okay.
And a lot of that's just theory.
Okay, so all right, let's see the number.
All right.
How did it go?
So I sent 99 LOIs.
Okay,
That's not a ton.
that's not.
This just makes me a list that I can call a lead list. Responses from those LOIs was 12.
Okay,
So that's over 10%. It's pretty
it's
good.
over 10%.
Conversations from those responses was 3. And to be honest, I don't even know who those were, whether they were appointments. Dials 60. This is less than last.
You called 60 of the 99.
Right, yes.
Correct?
60 of those. Yeah.
Got it. Okay, so then that means there's about 40 that we didn't call.
Yes.
So that would be a time restraint.
Yeah. And they're picking up. So they're calling.
Right.
Slower.
So you feel like you maybe made less calls.
It was slower dials, but better.
Right, but you're going to have less dials, though, if
Right.
you spend more time on the phone.
Conversations, 11. Appointments, I think it was 5. I have written down 5. Maybe it was 4.
Okay.
But it was like 2 Friday, 1 Thursday, 1
Yeah.
Wednesday, whatever it was. I think it was 5.
Okay, so 11, though, conversations out of the 60.
Yeah, they pick up.
That's
you
pretty
know,
good.
They talk.
So you dialed 60, you had 11 conversations. So that's almost 20% of good conversations with
Yeah.
people, right? Out of who you called.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good.
And I'm not counting, like, if I get a broker number.
Right.
Hey, I'm Sally, I'll leave a message. I don't even.
Okay, got it. Yeah, that's not a conversation. No, doesn't count. We're talking about real
Yeah,
conversations.
conversation with somebody who can make a decision.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So then if you had 11 of those, and you might have scheduled 4 or 5, unsure, appointments. You had 5. Let's stick with 5.
Okay.
You had just under 50% of your conversations scheduled to an appointment.
If I can get
John,
talking to them, this week was great.
I think are we realizing like what column the skill point we're putting in here right now?
Yeah.
We'll finish this part real quick, but basically you've been calling now for a while. I just mentioned to you there's amount of time duration of let's go back and pick the date that you first started and then today's date, and maybe time can pass. But what does time equal skill?
Well, hours
Hours
pass.
and repetition
Yeah.
of action
Yeah.
is what develops skill.
Yeah.
And we've talked about initially when it was like, I've called these few people just trying to get it figured out. And then we, a month ago, 2 months ago, we're like, hey, you're not calling 100% during the full hour. So guess what that means? You're not getting you were not getting phone repetitions, right? So you made changes to get better and better and better. And now you are putting in a lot of repetitions. You dialed 16 people. And this week you put in 11 reps of conversations.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, 60 and then 11,
Right.
11, yeah.
Now, John, if you wouldn't have pivoted at those times and stayed the old version of you, just like a lot of people watching this, your amount of time between getting a deal could go years.
There are people who it takes.
There's lots of people, they're like, oh my
2 or
gosh,
3
I've been
years.
trying it. It's been 2 years, 3 years. I can't get a deal. That's because if it's not time that gets you the skill. It's the repetition of the thing that gets you
Yeah.
the skill that you actually need. So even though you're figuring it all out, if you're not actually depositing any skill points, time doesn't matter.
Yeah, time. No, it barely matters. I'll tell a very quick story about that. This is 10 years ago. I was invited to play in some band at an event for the city of Mesa, like on Main Street.
Oh, cool.
And we were practicing, and the band, great band that I was with, but they were talking to the city manager. We were all meeting, and they're like, when are we gonna get as big as Jimmy Eat World? When is it our turn?
Right.
Jimmy Eat World's from Mesa, and I was like, I didn't say anything in that meeting, right? I was like, keeping it all to myself. But
Right.
like, it's not time, dude. Like, there's a million other factors that you guys aren't even doing to be Jimmy Eat World. I mean, it's huge. Anyway,
That's so funny.
They thought it was about time,
Right.
And it was their turn,
Right. Hey, I've put in 5 years of work on this.
Yeah.
And now it is now time for the good thing to happen to me.
Yeah.
That is not how it works.
No.
It is not. I've been doing this for this long. In all reality, every single time, for lack of a better word, every single time that you evaluate the duration of something and think it's been long enough, have I done this long enough, etc., it's never really about the time. If
Yeah.
you actually break it down, you go deeper, and it's like, it's really, what were the skill set points you were putting in during that amount of time?
Yeah.
Same
and
thing.
do those skills matter? Like,
Yeah.
do they move the needle?
You could be
Yeah.
you could be putting skill points in over here,
Yeah,
someone
yeah.
else's game.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? And it's like, that's not helping you on what you're achieving here, right? Same thing with relationships. Oh, we've been married for 15 years, John.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? But just
Isn't
about
that
to get a
great? Yeah.
divorce tomorrow.
Right. 15 years, congratulations. Yeah, yeah.
Time doesn't matter.
No 16th year. Yeah.
Time doesn't matter at all.
Yeah.
Are you putting in the right skill points, the right things into where you need to, right?
Yeah.
So, all right. With that said, John, I want to take you over to
Yeah.
my desk, okay? Because I want to show you why I know you've reached another level.
Okay.
Okay, you have 2 appointments that you set up, and they're higher quality, and I want to walk you and everybody else through it. So let's jump on over. All right, guys, we are back. We are at the desk. I'm here with John. We're going to be taking you guys through 2 appointments that John has set up for me. So I want to set the stage slightly.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, both of these appointments are in New Mexico.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't buy in New Mexico right now. Okay, so whenever you're working with somebody, you want to know where they're buying. It doesn't mean you can't market somewhere else, but it does mean, hey, I'm not going to be a guaranteed direct buyer
Yeah.
for either of these 2 houses.
Which doesn't make, if I understand correctly, which doesn't make deals impossible by any means, because that's what wholesaling is.
Yes.
It just adds a challenge.
It adds another challenge to the table, right? So if there's a good deal, there's a good deal, right?
Yeah.
It's, okay, now how do we, maybe we won't be able to as easily, find that buyer.
Yeah.
Okay? Because even if it's not me, I might have a list of buyers in that area.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I'm buying and doing business in that area, I'll probably have a bigger list.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, in New Mexico, I've never done a deal in New Mexico.
Okay.
Right? So it's like, okay, I don't have this big list of buyers for New Mexico, but it doesn't mean people won't be there.
Yeah.
So I wanted to start off by saying that, right? But I want to go through both these 2 leads. So the first one here that everybody can see was the one on Irwin Court.
Yeah.
Okay, so you called this agent, you had a good conversation with him. He actually, it's not the agent, isn't the owner, but the agent's very smart. I had a conversation with him as well. So I want to walk through people of what I see when this pulls up. And I'm talking to the agent.
And I want to ask you, why, so we've had, I don't know how many appointments, but why show us this? We moved to the desk to look at this, I know it's important. It feels like it's further along than other leads I've sent. Is that why we're
Yes. So these 2 leads have gone further, right, than most of your leads.
Got it. Okay.
So, and what I want to say is, I don't even pull up the house like this when I'm talking to him on the phone.
Right.
Okay. I just have a conversation with them, and I'm going to find out, hey, how can I help? Okay. So, for example, this gentleman, he's not as motivated.
The seller.
The seller that owns this house is not as motivated. He's fine just turning it into a rental.
Okay, yeah.
Okay? So, and he's being honest about that.
Yeah.
Okay? So that means, okay, hey, there's still some pain. He obviously still wants to sell, and it hasn't sold yet. And let's scroll down here real quick. So this one's been on the market for 76 days at this point. Okay, so I mean that's over 2 months. That's 2.5 months.
Yeah.
Right. So it's probably starting to settle in. That's like, gosh dang it, right? And he's had this price since March 27th.
Yeah.
Okay, so for us that's about a month at this price. In fact, let's scroll down and let's look at that real quick. Okay, so you can see the history here.
Yeah.
Okay, look at all these price changes, John.
Right.
Okay, so he actually bought it in February of 22, right? He started in February of 25, right, is when he listed it for 310.
Yeah.
You can see, right? It didn't take long, couple weeks, right? He brings it down to 300, does it, and then he starts dropping little by little. Here, look at this, March 7th, March 7th to 12th, that's only like 5 days.
Yeah.
He did an extra 2,000, right?
They probably had some showings between those dates.
And look, he strategically doesn't have a lot of room left because that's why he's only dropping by $2,000.
Yeah.
He's not really giving much of a discount as he keeps changing this.
At first it was 10 and then recently 9.
And recently. So he felt a little more pain after March 21st. That's why he did a big drop. And guess what? It's been another month, John.
Yeah.
And he has not sold this.
Yeah.
And now, why do you think he's considering our offer? Well, he's in some pain, right? He's like, okay, great. Maybe I really should just rent this.
Solves the problem. Yeah.
Right? Maybe I should just rent this to somebody else, is what he's thinking, right? So now it's, okay, can we solve this? And he can rent this out for at least $2,000, okay? The agent thinks you can rent it out for quite a bit more, okay? However, I don't think so.
Okay.
Okay. So the problem with this one is, if I remember correctly, it doesn't cash flow. Okay. This is the one that does not cash flow. Okay. But if we and then the other part I want to take you to is great appointment, but you can have a great appointment regardless of where it is. Okay. So here, this one is in Albuquerque, everyone. Okay. So let's scroll out. There's Albuquerque. Right? So if I were to, you can see my mouse, if I were to draw a little circle like this is what I would say would be like the main city of Albuquerque, right? Well, and then you got highways going down this way, which is great. I mean, there's 3 different main roads kind of, with the interstate being one of them.
Because it's the river. That's the Rio Grande.
Right, exactly, right down the river. And so this one obviously is kind of further down here. So this is like at least 30 minutes, if not more, outside of the main city, right? So in my opinion, right, where I like to buy, one, I don't buy in New Mexico. But if I were, I would want to be in this circle, okay? That means you'll constantly, one, I would be able to fill it with tenants pretty easily, okay? Now, so you got this one under contract. What's interesting is I just spoke with somebody yesterday that lives in Albuquerque, right? And they reminded me that there's actually an Amazon and some other companies that are coming into town, and they're coming in somewhere, I think, near Los Lunas.
Interesting.
Somewhere down here.
There's also some hospitals being built, or at least one hospital being built somewhere in that stretch. I don't know how close it is to the house.
Right. So even though it's more than 30 minutes, it might not be as bad as my initial thought of distance. Okay, but so what I can tell you is I'm not your buyer because of New Mexico altogether. I wouldn't have been your buyer as well just because of distance.
Yeah.
Okay, so and the reason I share this with you and everybody else is because all your other buyers are thinking the same thing.
Yep.
So when I go try to assign this to somebody else, right, I have to find someone that is okay with New Mexico and Albuquerque, and I have to find someone that's now okay to go outside if I can even find them.
Yeah.
Okay? Which means, how good of a deal does this house need to be?
It would need to be a pretty good. It would need to be significantly a better deal. Everything else the same. So
Right.
all other factors
Right.
remain the same.
So
except
comparatively,
distance. Yeah.
right? Comparatively. Okay? So now on this deal, I've kind of updated you, but I'll let everyone else know, right? They are open to doing a subject to transaction, right? With us coming in, and I told them, right? It's probably not going to be us, okay? Because basically I told them we have to get it really low if it's going to be us as an entry. So the amount of money it takes for us to buy the house, cash, up front, needs to be really low. Why? Because of how far it is, right? So right now, they wanted, I think, like $35,000 for this one, right, of cash up front. That would be all of the seller's equity. Right? And then the agent get paid
Yeah.
And then we would be buying the house, taking it over subject to, right? So, however, let's back out of the map now. If we look at this house is only worth $285,000. Okay, $35,000 alone is way too high for any deal, even if it was in Albuquerque, even if it was in Phoenix. I actually would not pay 35 grand for a $285,000 house. Okay. So with that said, in a perfect world, I actually probably want to be around, if this was in Phoenix, I ideally would want to be around maybe 15,000.
Okay, about 5%.
Okay? About 5% is where I would love to land most of my deals. That way, if I don't want it myself, I could sell it to someone else at 7 to 8%. Maybe even 10%. Now, this guy wants 35 plus agent fees, so it's not even 35. It's like 45.
Yeah.
Basically, what we worked out is, hey, if I bring, say I bring 15,000, that would pay for the agent. The seller wouldn't get very much money, but we would guarantee him his total 35,000 in equity over time. Okay. He recently actually texted me back and just asked if we would come up to like 20, and then he wants his money over 2 years, which wouldn't work. That'd be a $600 a month payment. Why would I buy this and spend that much money into this type of deal outside of a main city, right? And lose money every single month? It just doesn't make any sense. So at the current state of the negotiations, we're not going to be buying this one. We're not going to be locking it under contract for those terms. Okay. So what I'll probably do on this one is going to be doing an option agreement, which means it won't be us. I'm going to try to negotiate even lower terms and tell them it's not us, and I can't even promise you who it's going to be. I have tenants, I have families that come to me and tell me, Kyle, if you don't buy a house, can you let us know? If you pass on a house, will you let us know so we could buy it instead? And so if I get an option agreement, that basically says, seller, here's the terms. We're going to pre-negotiate the terms of the subject to and the financing portion. And now and it also gives me permission to go market this and tell these families about it. Now, if one of them decides to jump on this offer and take it, they'll come in and they'll be the buyer. They'll be the ones bringing in the cash to pay him his money, to pay his real estate agent.
And you exercise your option.
Yep, and I would assign my option to them, so they would be the ones technically exercising the option. But look at this house, cute little house. Right, looks nice, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,900 square feet. So with that one said, let's move on. We're gonna move on to the second house. Okay, this one on Appian Way. This one, first thing I want to show off some major differences.
Also in New Mexico, it just happens to be in New Mexico.
Also in New Mexico, but look at the map.
This one is in town.
In town. Right? I mean, it is on the edge, but it's still in town. Okay? So location, way better.
It's in Albuquerque proper. It has an Albuquerque address.
Exactly. Okay? So number one, fantastic. That's a big win. Okay? Now, that's the map part. Okay? Now, you still had both of these are great appointments. Okay? One is just more likely to actually become a deal than the other. Because location. The second thing, I actually don't care. I mean, look at the price difference. That's quite a big price difference. $280, right?
Yeah, it's a bigger house. It's pretty big.
But it's a lot bigger house, right? But it's also in Albuquerque.
Central,
Okay? So I don't care about the price. That is totally fine. Okay? What I noticed as soon as I saw this is I go, okay, the house actually from the pictures looks decent from the outside. I then notice 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,500 square feet. Okay? Because when it comes to a house, the question is, what can you do with it? Well, the current seller and agent actually is one and the same, which is anytime you come across that is a great thing. Okay? Because he can negotiate right then.
It's fast.
It's fast. He understands, and guess what it also does? If he doesn't want to pay commissions to I don't need commissions on my end. Most deals, there's still always a listing agent commission. If we buy this direct, because he can cancel his own listing agreement with himself. And choose not to do that. So he could choose to not pay any fees whatsoever. So it could be a 0-fee transaction. So it's an owner agent selling the house. He's doing Airbnb and midterm rental. Right now.
And we talked about that briefly when I was on the phone.
Exactly. So one, it's an investment property.
Yeah.
Okay. Now he has had some life things going on.
Okay.
Okay. And he has moved out of state. Okay. And that is what is causing the motivation. Okay. He actually got behind on the payments on this house.
Okay.
Right. So there is arrears.
Okay.
Okay. In fact, he tells me, "Hey, Kyle, I would keep this house if it wasn't behind."
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's an investment for him. He liked it. He would keep it. Okay. It is profitable as an Airbnb or midterm rental, so that is one option. However, when I look at it, I see this is a 4-bedroom, 3-bath house, which turns out it's actually only a 2.5, just FYI.
Okay.
Okay. But 4.3, 2,500 square feet, my mind instantly goes to co-living.
Okay.
Okay. That is a lot of square feet. You already have 4 bedrooms and multiple bathrooms, so it should be, my guess is it should be easy to add additional bedrooms and bathrooms. It's in Albuquerque proper.
Yeah.
It's close by.
Schools, hospitals,
Yep.
work.
I mean, look at the map here, right?
Even
Look
retirement communities
right.
and stuff.
You got cross streets right here, and look at that. See the bus?
Yep.
There's a bus stop right here,
Yeah.
right? So you got, look, more bus stops right here. And that would be hardly at all a walk for them to get to the bus.
Yeah, it's right there. Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. So I am totally happy with the location. That also tells me this could possibly be a co-living. So what I want to show you real quick is we're not going to go through the pictures. I reached out to someone I know in Albuquerque, and I scheduled them to go walk this property this morning.
Yeah.
I haven't even watched this whole video
Yeah.
all the way through.
Okay.
So we're gonna.
I haven't seen it at all.
Yeah, you haven't seen it at all. We're gonna watch this video, and we're gonna look to see, could this really be a co-living property?
Okay.
Okay.
Which means we need space to add a room. Maybe the bathroom needs to be available to be bumped out to turn it into a true 3-bed, 3-bath.
So we don't want 4 bedrooms. We need more. So number one,
Okay.
we're looking for bedrooms, but
Maybe
we'll
we can
talk
add
about
2
it
or
as we
something.
go.
Okay, we'll just
Okay?
react to the video. Is he
Exactly.
talking in this video?
He might have said a little bit. I watched like 30 seconds.
Okay.
And he said very little.
Okay.
But
We'll just
I
react
turned
to it.
off the volume anyways.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
here we go. So we're walking in the house.
So obviously it's a nice house if you saw the photos also.
Yeah, it looks nice, right?
Yeah.
Okay, there's the front room, okay? And I'll stop this as we go, right? But okay, I see a window in the front. That's a pretty big window.
Huge window.
Huge window. This is actually a pretty big room, it looks like.
Yeah.
My first thing in my head
You
goes,
want to add a room.
can I make 2 rooms? I can make this 1 room for sure.
Yeah.
Because the spot where we're looking was a pass-through, which I could have put a door on,
Yes.
okay? And what's really cool about this listing is there's a layout in the pictures.
Okay, yeah.
And so I will visually show people what I'm talking about as well. But here, my question is, this is at least 1 bedroom. Could I put a wall right here down the middle and make it 2 bedrooms?
2 windows. There's HVAC on the
Yep,
floor there. You can
yep.
split that out to each
Yeah,
room.
so that's...
And it's presumably a go-through living room.
Yep. So you can see,
Yeah.
look how big this
door
is.
Door there, door right there.
Yep. And then on that
Wall,
side...
reroute HVAC, new window, boom. 2 rooms. 2
Yep.
more rooms.
Yeah, look how big that room is.
Oh,
and
there's
then,
the HVAC for the other room,
yep,
potentially.
possibly, right?
Is
Then
that
you
like
have
a
this little
bar?
space right here, right? Little bar area or dining space. Because we still need space for a table.
Okay.
So a table could go there. Okay, kitchen still looks pretty nice. Right?
Yeah.
It actually looks, look how big that is.
Yeah. And then
Pretty
there's
big.
There's your other 2 beds.
And look, there's actually a table over there. So we actually
Okay.
don't need that room for a table, that first room. Which tells me I wonder if we could do something else with it. Okay? Try to show us all any damage and
Yeah.
whatnot, right? So there's a little spot for a table.
There's
Okay, so
laundry.
there's the laundry room.
Garage, presumably.
Yep. Garage is going to be
They
through there.
started painting.
Oh yeah,
to match
they
the
were going to
kitchen.
make those blue to match, right? All right, looks like going to go out into the garage real quick. Okay, so garages with co-living, sometimes you can convert, sometimes you can't. Okay, so that door is probably going to go outside.
Like per physical constraints or legal
and
constraints?
physical, both.
Okay.
Okay, so look, I see.
Is that
I see.
a tandem garage?
Okay, so it's 2 singles
Yeah.
with a pillar in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay, and that goes to the front of the house. Okay, and I saw a window. We'll see it again in a second on the left. Right.
Okay.
There's only one. I only saw 1 window though, but that's what my brain goes to. I see HVAC. I see hot water heater. Obviously, all this would have to be filled in, right? But that's fine. Okay, 1 garage door, 2 garage door. What would have been amazing if there was 2 windows more separate in that wall.
In that, yeah.
Okay?
On this wall.
On this wall right here. There's not.
Okay.
However, that doesn't mean you couldn't add 2 windows there. Because if you're going to do a bedroom, you only have 2 directions in the garage to do it. We'd have to have a wall between the angle we're looking at straight towards this window as the dividing wall, right? Bedroom on each side. Or right before we panned over, there could have been a wall from in between the two garage doors going the other way.
Straight, yeah,
so,
straight back.
Right? So we'll talk about that more. Let's keep going. Look how interesting this is. There's actually a pass-through garage door into the backyard.
Yeah, that one on the side?
So this is on the other side of the other two.
Oh, we already turned around. Okay.
Yep. So the first two single garage doors are behind us right now.
Okay, got it.
There is another garage door on the far end,
okay,
which is kind of cool. And now you're going back towards the house, okay? And this is that backyard. Quick little, see, there's the garage door. And then there's actually a gate and everything to the outside, but could be some advantage to some of that. We'll talk about it. Okay, here's the bath. This is a half bath. This is about, I guess I did watch about 2 minutes. This is about as far as I got. So no shower here. I wish there was a shower. My brain right now is going, is there anywhere I could put a shower?
You'd have to bump it that way, which we don't know what's over there.
Yeah, we can't bump out.
Yeah.
Right? The external of the house is on the right-hand side of this wall. Okay? Either backwards or to the left. Let's see. We have our dining space right here, though. Okay, but it's pantry.
Pantry,
Okay, so could you possibly
bump it out
it out this way or bump it out this way to create a little shower? Maybe. It depends on space.
You lose the pantry. And it looks like there's a window coming up right here, or a mantle or something.
Let's find out.
So you can only bump it out, what is that, 2 feet?
Yep. And we don't want, and here's the other thing. Here's this room. We're looking for bedrooms.
There's a whole, what we call an Arizona room.
Yep.
With a courtyard in the middle of the house.
I think the room we're about to leave, where that fireplace is, should be a bedroom as well. So that tells me I'm not going to want to bump out in that direction because that would mess up my room. So if I had to pick between the fireplace room and the pantry to bump out for a shower, I'm going to go with that pantry all day.
What if you seal the existing door to the bedroom, to the bathroom, to the half bath, flip the door to the other side so it's only accessible from that new bedroom?
You could possibly, but then it's a private bathroom.
Yeah.
And what we're looking for is mostly, if we're going to have more and more bedrooms, they all need
sort of access.
They all need bathrooms.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Then this is like what we call an Arizona room.
Yeah.
Okay, but yet nicer than a typical Arizona room.
Yeah.
A lot of them are like barely screened in. This has tile.
Yeah. Floor to ceiling almost.
Right. I see electrical. I see sliding. Oh, he's going to go outside first. So there's a pool over here, covered right now. But I could see hanging out and chilling there.
Oh, yeah. Like he says, he MTRs it right now.
Right. Midterm and Airbnb. Right? So you have a nice tree, big grass area, cool little patio, and a pool. That's enjoyable back there.
Yeah.
Okay, little fenced yard. So maybe if you had a dog, he puts, there's like 3 barbecues, I see, on that back. Look at how much glass that is. That's a lot of glass.
Yeah, he thought about this, making it.
Yeah, but that's a big room.
Rentable.
Let's see what we could do with this real quick. That's a long room.
Yeah.
So, what's that? A sink. We got water and a drain.
Okay.
That's good to know. And it's smaller here, and then it expands out.
Probably half this is its own room with a bathroom.
And what is that? Is that air conditioning? Okay, so you have another closet, but there's something super skinny.
With block. So that's the outside.
So they built that wall out to make it nice and create a closet. And it's air conditioned in there. So that's part of the livable space. That ended faster. We didn't get to see the rest of the house.
Yeah, luckily we have that layout that you talked about, so we can see the entire house.
So let's switch back, to here, and let's walk through it. Oh, actually, let me click the pictures. And all right, so here's the layout, right? So let's walk through this together, what we saw already. Here's the front door.
Yeah.
We walked in the front door. Look at this. Almost 18 feet by 21 feet. So if we were to put a wall right here in between the word dining and the word room.
Yeah.
If we were to put a wall there, this would be almost 21 feet. So you'd lose about 6 inches for a wall. Okay. So you would still have 20 feet. So the bedrooms would be 10 feet wide and almost 18 feet long. Those are plenty big for a bedroom.
And that's a nice spot for a bedroom. It's isolated. It's not, you don't have to pass through it to get to the garage.
Correct.
To go around.
Correct. So I would probably put a wall right here and then I would have to change this window into 2.
Yeah.
Okay. I could either wall it off here and make this room really big, because this bedroom right here that I'm putting my mouse in has to leave through the kitchen.
Yeah.
Okay. So I either wall it off here and make this giant, or what I'm thinking is I wall it off right here. Okay. I add like maybe a door, and this is a big enough space where I could actually add a bathroom.
Cool. So at that point, it would be a 6-bed, 3.5 bath.
Okay, so at that point, yeah, we were at 4. So 5, 6, 3.5 bath instead of 2.5. Keep the kitchen the same. Laundry stays the same. I don't know if we remove this wall. It does make me wonder if this is I don't know if this will be wide enough. It might be. We'd have to measure. Or worst case scenario, could we possibly steal a little more square feet of the living space to make that be a shower?
Or even go that way, toward the mantle.
Towards this? So that's what you mentioned. The problem is I want this to be another bedroom. Okay? Because here's the thing. I want to make sure I don't block the exit, but there's other ways to get into this back area.
Yeah.
It does suck that you kind of have to go that this is not covered. If this is that atrium uncovered space right here. But still, you could leave from the breakfast area to the atrium. You have a door right here to go in.
And that bedroom.
And this bedroom as well. And this, well, that might be a window. That's a window. Okay. But, so you could still get in there. This is the only pass-through, though, to get in there by staying inside the house the whole time. Okay? So, one thing I could do is I could do a wall about 3 feet, 3.5 feet over to create a hallway.
Okay.
That would still make this bedroom right here long enough.
Yeah.
But remember, this is only 11.9. If I were to extend this 3 feet, that would make this very narrow of a bedroom.
Okay.
I don't like that.
Okay.
Okay? But
that closet thing.
Yeah, and closet. So what I do think, though, is here's a bedroom right here. So what does that put us at? 7 bedrooms?
7, 3.5.
3.5. Okay? Let's keep going.
Which, if you turn that into a full, that's 7 by 4.
If I could make this a 4, there is a potential for a 7-bedroom, 4-bath house.
But would you need that if that was a bathroom?
Great
if
question.
That's a full bath.
Right now, I'm guessing with how the rest of this is going, we might not need to add that shower. If I add a bathroom here,
A full bath.
a full bath, I might not need to add a shower here. The rest of the video showed us this sunroom. There is a sink here, which is really cool. Okay? So one, that means I could add a bathroom down here on the end. Here's the downside of this. Well, one, I could keep this bathroom right here that we did not see in the video. I could keep it as, it is right now a primary bathroom.
Yeah.
I could keep it as the primary bathroom and charge more for the primary bedroom because they get their own private bathroom. Or I need to figure out a way to share this bathroom. Okay? Which one, looks like there's a closet right here and there's a closet right here.
Yeah, and I had said there were initially when we looked in the closet in the sunroom that, oh, that must be the edge of the house.
Right.
It's not the edge of the house because I saw the slump block.
Yep.
It's just slump block.
It's just slump block. But there's a door here to a closet, so I could technically open this up, and that door could actually be a hallway into this bathroom.
Jack and Jill.
Right, Jack and Jill. So now this bathroom could then be shared to other people. The other option I have is not make this really small. I could make this, I wonder if I could add 1 or 2 bathrooms over here. The options are endless.
Yeah, 2,500 square foot. I mean, that's a lot of options.
What
Big
I wish I could do, I wish this was a little bit wider. Okay, door here, you walk in here. This is a walk-in closet right here, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what this is. The toilet's right here and a standing shower. So this might be just some other closet. We'll have to look. But what if I could turn this whole thing into a hallway?
Okay.
Okay, so you walk in the door here and you walk down. You could then turn to your right to go into a bathroom over here on this side, or to your left to go into this bathroom here. So now all of a sudden I just created another bathroom. And if I could make that bathroom smaller, where it's, let's say right here where my mouse is that wall, I could still have a bedroom right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
And put another door right here for the entrance into it. And then I could also do one more. I don't know if I could fit. I'd probably have to change this to a single door, but maybe get one more bedroom right here.
That would be like a 38 bedroom.
Okay. Now, I'm just showing you possibilities.
Yeah. Sounds like you want to buy an Albuquerque.
Okay. Would I do all of this? I mean, we already at 4. We said 5, 6 bedrooms. This was going to be 7. If I were to do what I just said, that'd be 8. That would be a 9-bedroom house. Okay? That's pretty cool. That's without converting the garage.
Yeah.
If I wanted to convert the garage, I talked to you about this on the video earlier. I either have to go horizontal, right, and do a wall right through the words and put 2 windows on each side of this existing window, or long ways this way, which is kind of funky because it's really long. This garage is huge, by the way.
And that's why I asked, is that a tandem? 2 spots in each door?
It's longer than normal.
Yeah.
But because of all the utility, I could almost see maybe you make it 1 bedroom, or maybe you make it just 2 smaller ones if you can. We'll have to see.
And then with co-living, correct me if I'm wrong, each tenant has a lease with you.
So depends. If you go with pad split, you actually sign 1 lease.
Okay. Because it's a platform.
Because it's a platform, and then the platform is moving people in and out themselves. Okay. Or you could do individual leases. But I do see a possibility of a 10 or 11 bedroom setup. Do I really think you want to go that big? Probably not. I'd probably want to go to maybe 9.
9 bed.
8 or 9 bed.
Wow, yeah.
Okay? So I just don't know if I'd go 5 and 6. This seems like a no-brainer down here. This one seems like a no-brainer here, so that's 7. I know exactly where my first 7 are going to come from.
Yeah.
The question is, you know what I could do though? Maybe I don't have, if it's only 7, this one right now has a private bathroom. These 2 bedrooms down here can use this bathroom. This person here could use that one as well. So there's 3 bedrooms sharing a bathroom. Yeah. That's good. This one, you don't want to go any higher than 4. 4 to 1 is the max. This would be a 3 to 1 ratio for this bathroom. This primary would have its own if I don't change anything, right? And then this one doesn't have a shower. If this one had a shower, I actually would be good to go.
Yeah.
Right? But since it doesn't, I either need to add a shower here, or if I convert this whole thing to a full.
I mean, even at its worst, that's a 3 to 1 right there. It's actually a 3 to 1.5. If you add a bathroom.
If I add a bathroom, then this is already a 3 to 1 ratio with an extra half bath for anyone that wants to use it.
And then a room in the sunroom plus the bathroom.
Yep. And that's with not even touching the garage.
Yeah.
Right?
And someone's going to want to lease the garage, be as part of their lease,
Oh, maybe. Co-living less so. 1, I was excited about the potential. Okay. 1, maybe I'll buy in New Mexico. We'll find out. Also, the person I had go and walk it, they might be interested in buying it in New Mexico. Okay. But also, I just see it being a good option, and it's a non-HOA area, which is exactly what you want. So I wanted to show you. And the last part, and then we'll wrap up here, is this is the end opportunity of something that could happen and how money could possibly be made here.
Yeah.
Okay. However, John, I could tell based on the conversation that I had with the agents for these last 2 that these were real possibilities.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you think are you doing anything different? Or do you feel you just finally have put the last skill pellet in?
It could be the last skill pellet thing. Because, I live with me, right? So any change that I experience is most gradual with me, so it's harder to detect.
Okay. So you don't notice anything, you didn't radically change anything that you're doing.
I don't think so.
Okay, which is, guess what? This is the answer that everyone says. Because we all change slowly. We all are just adding little skill pellets. But guess what? The skill pellet that puts you up over the line is the same size skill pellet as the very first one that you put in. Okay? So I want everyone to know you can see the growth live here, right? What John is doing, and it's not amount of time, it's repetitions.
Yeah.
So you are putting in a lot of phone calls right now, and I want to show you the fruits of your labor, right? These were both great conversations for me to have, right? One of them less likely to happen just because of location and terms. This one, probably extremely likely to happen. Okay? So I'm excited to keep running this with you. Thanks everyone for hanging out. This was fantastic. If you guys like if you guys like us digging down in these, like the video, right? Subscribe to the channel, put in the comments, show me more of these, right? Show me more layouts. I like the co-living, right? We will show you guys a lot more. And you guys are going to watch this guy get his first deal and several more deals here very shortly.